All right, y'all, this is our take. This is Mark the moderator.
Banks.com, the game is the game, always. Brunchy.
Leaf is only family, Brooklyn forever. Doc failed us.
Maybe the process, Weeksville's finest.
All right, so we was just having a conversation and talking about what all of this means, and Leaf brought up a point about Doc. Lead back in with that point, Leaf.
What I'm saying, the common denominator?
Yes.
That one? Yo.
Which one?
Like, yo, listen, man, this guy has had teams that was supposed to win chips ever since he left Boston. And they didn't. They won that one chip in Boston. Hey, yo, after winning that first chip in Boston, people thought they could have won two more, which they didn't.
All right, so right there, can you live off of one chip as a coach? Can that cement you and make you a great coach or a Hall of Fame coach or even a good coach?
I think you can if after that your teams aren't as good as your championship team, which is not the case for Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers had bomb squads after that.
So we say though, Doc did take that Celtics team to the finals again, and they
2 times in a row, yes.
And I'm not, and it's not an excuse, no pass, anything like that. But I know it's a lot to say. But Kendrick Perkins actually played a part in that game. Them possibly losing that game. Was it Game 7 they lost to the Lakers? Did they go 7 games with the Lakers? I can't remember.
It was 7.
But I remember Perkins getting hurt, couldn't do nothing with Bynum.
But let me bring something up, because there's a coach that I always talk about that I think people give a lot of credit for, and I think they do it because of his one chip. Larry Brown. Larry Brown has been in the league for 100 and basically 50 years, and every time they called him a good coach based off of one chip. So I asked the question. But that
goes to what I said though.
Let him finish. Let me hear.
But do we look at Doc? Because again, is Doc living off that one chip and his greatness is tied to it like a Larry Brown? Or is it a different circumstance because it's Doc Rivers? Now, that's what I'm wondering. Go ahead, Banks.
Because each championship is not created equal. I think you hold Larry Brown in a little bit more esteem.
He did the impossible. He did the impossible.
Did the impossible. They were not supposed – come on, Mark. Don't do the revisionist history. They were not supposed to beat the Lakers. Absolutely. They were walking into that series. People were talking about the Lakers are going to sweep them, right?
Banks.
There's no Hall of Famers on that team either, because Chauncey hasn't the ball yet, and he may not. So that team, whereas Doc had, when you're talking about 3 Hall of Famers, and I don't think Rondo makes the Hall, but in this NBA, you never know, a very good point guard. You had 3 Hall of Famers and a very good point guard. Doc had, Larry Brown possibly had 1. So I think you could live off of that one championship in Detroit a little bit more. And he brought an I know Avery's going to go there. He brought an underachieving Philly team to the finals with nobody but Allen Iverson, Eric Snow, Theo Ratliff, a bunch of bums, and he brought that team to the finals. So I think every championship is not great.
But let me just add too, with the Detroit Lakers, people forget they beat them in 5 games. They beat the Lakers in 5 games.
That's called a gentleman's sweep.
Do you remember where that Piston team was ranked coming out of the East? Do you remember what that Piston team was? They was the number 1 team coming out the East.
Number 1 defensive team.
They was the number 1 defensive team. Don't say that no one. Let's not sit here and say
no.
The favorite was the Lakers. The Lakers were the favorite.
Lakers were favored by like 12 in every game.
No.
Yeah, no. Come on, man.
Hold on.
I'm just saying.
That's the playoffs. That's the playoffs that the Lakers went 15-1.
Listen. I don't want to make it about Larry Brown. Listen, what I'm saying. I don't want to make it like. What I'm asking is this though: if winning a chip, if you win 1 chip as a coach, because now where this takes me to, Tyronn Lue got a chip.
Can I get a chance to answer the question though? Because I didn't get a chance to answer.
Hold up. Tyronn Lue got a chip. Spo got chips. We don't sit around calling them great.
You said chips. Spo's a great coach.
No, hold on. I said we don't sit around and call them great. We don't call him great. Okay.
Here's why.
Okay.
Here's why.
Fact check, real quick. Fact check. The Pistons were a 3 seed. Cut the crap. Go ahead.
Who was the number one seed?
Defense. We said number one defense.
No, I said number one seed. Don't do that.
I said number one seed.
Ranked number one.
Right.
Indiana Pacers were the number one seed that year.
Over Danny Granger.
Indiana Pacers were the number one seed.
Like I said, the Lakers
were the number 2 seed.
The Lakers were 15-1 that postseason going into the finals.
So
mind you, the Lakers weren't even the number one seed.
Listen.
Oh wow.
Listen. All right. Let me ask a question. Tyronn Lue, Spo, they have chips. They're not held in the same regard as Doc Rivers is. Why not?
Because cut it out with the Tyronn Lue, because you know why.
Yeah, stop.
Wait. I'm asking a question because is it the chip? But just like Banks said, not every chip is created equal.
Right.
So if it ain't created equal, then why is it that Doc is revered for the big three that he had, actually 4, the big 4 he had, and then you look at other guys.
Leaf, I'm gonna let you go, Lee. Go ahead, Lee.
Go ahead.
Because Tyronn Lue ain't gonna get no damn props. LeBron is gonna get all the props for that shit. All them chips. None of LeBron's coaches has gotten props for the things that they did, the X's and O's. LeBron will always get the credit. Now,
with the exception of Spo.
Hold on. Spo is gonna get a lot more credit now. And people is now probably look back and be like, you know what? He's been a good coach back. He was a good coach since then. So he would get his credit now because what he's doing with this. Tyronn Lue will have to take another squad and bring them to the finals before he gets some props. And that's where I think the Larry Brown come in. Because like Avery just said, Larry Brown did things with teams we didn't expect to see. Detroit made it to the finals fine. Branks is right. We thought that was going to be a sweep or a gentleman's sweep. But guess what? The Lakers end up getting the gentleman's sweep. And Larry Brown is going to get the props for that. What Doc Rivers took these Hall of Famers, and yeah, he meshed them together, and he won that chip. But then you got other squads which you have Hall of Famers too, and you didn't succeed.
Well, hold on. What Hall of Famers has he had since Boston?
Chris Paul is definitely going to be a Hall of Famer.
And one. Come on, Blake Griffin ain't going to the Hall of Fame.
Hold on, wait.
Don't sit here and say Blake Griffin going to the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is.
Mark,
the Hall of what?
I don't think he belongs there. But if Vlade Divac can make it, Blake Griffin will
Hold on. Wait. If that's the case, then Chauncey Billups, Sheed Wallace, and Jerry Stackhouse, then those 3 are definite Hall of Famers. Then if you're gonna say Blake Griffin is going to the Hall of Fame,
you had arguably a top 5 point guard of all time.
No, listen. Chris Paul. I said Chris Paul is one. What Hall of Famers has he had since Boston? That's what I asked the question. What Hall of Famers?
So Chris Paul. All right. So Chris Paul, possibly Kawhi Leonard.
No. Hold on. Again, since then, that's all he had is Chris Paul. You can't sit there and put and say that he has Hall of Famers since he had some bomb squads. Blake Griffin has not ever lived up to any potential we had for him.
That's a fact. But I'm gonna tell you this though.
DeAndre Jordan cannot be named in anybody's top 50 centers all time.
Listen.
Yes, he is. Going to.
Say that again?
You're absolutely right, Mark. Mark, you're absolutely right. But the expectations for his squad was Western Conference Finals and possibly finals.
But Leaf, was those expectations set because Doc Rivers was the coach? Was it based upon him being the actual coach while those expectations were set?
I think it was coach and roster. Go ahead, man.
Okay.
So here's the question, right? Is Doc a good coach or a great coach? And let's not forget the job that he did last year, because that Clippers team, a lot of people did not have them going, even making the playoffs. So I think we're kind of in this reactionary mode where we're judging him right now that they didn't make it. But he did a very good job coaching last year. That Clippers team, nobody thought that they would do what they did. And they gave Golden State a little bit of a run for their money last year.
No, they actually won 2 games.
Yeah,
they won
2 games.
They won 2 games with a healthy KD.
Here's another thing, though. Here's another thing which I think hurt the Clippers. And this is not Doc's fault. This is actually on the Clippers. Remember when they got Kawhi and PG, their players was talking crazy.
No, listen.
Their players was talking.
But let's go back to it once again when we talk about expectations. But I'm going to ask the question: how is it that Doc is still living off of one chip? If we talk about that Celtics team, if we talk about that Celtics team, how is Doc still living off of that one?
Let me just say this: still living off that one chip.
Let me tell you this: when we start talking about, so I'm gonna go here, but because I don't care. When you start talking about Black coaches that are successful or coaches in themselves that are successful, you cannot deny if Doc was a white man, he'd be getting the same accolades. So let's give him the credit that, considerably, he has a good regular season record. He needs that hook. You know what I'm saying? He needs to have a long hook. You know what I mean? So he has a good regular season record. Yes, he's got the dubious, 3 times being down 3-1 on his record. But for the most part, this guy is a good coach, good motivator. If he was a white guy, he'd be standing around for the same amount of time. So
let me just say this.
I'm going to give Doc that pass like all these other coaches get that pass.
Avery brings up something, y'all, that I have to bring up. And if you want to check it, you can actually check it. Do you know that Dwayne Casey and Brad Stevens got very similar coaching records, a very similar resume, and right now, Casey is not revered nowhere near as much as Brad Stevens is, and that goes to Avery's point. When these white coaches does a little bit good, they get elevated. Black coaches, they have to consistently do good or they get fired.
But we also have to take
Avery was the one that revered Brad Stevens, though.
I know that is true.
Appreciate that. But you also have to take in consideration Brad Stevens coaches for like one of those vintage NBA organizations as being the Celtics also. So he's going to be revered to that kind of pedigree.
So hold on. Is the level for great coach you have to make the finals? So is Brad Stevens not a great coach because his team has never made the finals?
Thanks. I agree with you on that because I feel like
let's talk about that. Hold up.
I feel like Jerry Sloan's a great coach, but
hold up. Wait. Let's stay there. Let's stay there. We'll come right back. Banks, I want you to put that out there. Put that out there one more time. I want you to say it so then we don't miss it. What you just say?
I copy. I got you. I'll do it next second.
Okay. All right. We're coming right back, y'all. This is Our Take. Peace.
I'm about to turn on all 4, bro.